humid, a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, but cooler, but still humid, a high of 77. Weather is brought to you by Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin's Road America. The Aaron's Art of Wheels Vintage Weekend wraps up the 2023 Road America race season, September 15th through the 17th. Get your tickets today and check out the full season schedule at roadamerica.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center,
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Ben Brust here. Catch Scalzo and Brust weekdays 4 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue.
Party,
this is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
It's a party,
on
baby.
94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby.
Happy Tuesday! Welcome
It's
to
a party,
Scalzo and
baby.
Brust, presented by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light. He is big-time Benny Brust. I'm Greg Scalzo. You, the Scalzo and Brust family, calling, texting 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Josh DiMaggio into the show. Young Riley Yao holding it down at the Everlight Solar Studios downtown off the Capitol Square.
Steve the Homer True, who just got off the air 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, said that you are late 97% of the time. Fair or unfair?
Depends how you define late.
Because I said it's a new mail. I think it's 98.
Was I late here?
No, that's the crazy thing, is I think you thought you were coming in hot, but he was actually on time.
No, Homer left his show late. I mean, we got into our show late. Greg showed up about a minute after.
Late. Yeah, we got a 40-second show intro. A&T to Hope Boy. Love you, A&T.
Shout out A&T. Text me. Hadn't heard from him in a while.
Twitter at Scalzo and Brust. 800-990-3776. Training camp rolls on up there in Green Bay.
No more fan access. They're going to put in all the trickery.
This is where you get all the Twitter love for the Packers writers, podcasters, people covering the team, giving you the play-by-play, or at least all the good play-by-play of what's going on up there in Green Bay. Obviously, the majority of the attention right now around the Packers is on their young quarterback, Jordan Love. And at The Athletic, there was a ranking done by Randy, I think it's Miller or Mueller, Joshy.
I think you're right with Miller.
I think it's Miller, but it's spelled Mueller.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's confusing.
There's always is. Like, I remember, like, Bill Miller, too. Like, it was a baseball player, was spelt Mueller, but it was Miller. Randy Miller / Mueller put together a compilation of young quarterbacks there in football. And it brings up the question, right? There's two young quarterbacks in the NFC North. There's Justin Fields, who had a really impressive season last year. I liken what Justin Fields did last year to a high-volume scorer on just a bad team.
Kevin Love on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, or like remember the Evan Turner season on a bad Sixers team where it was like, oh, wow, this guy's legit.
Honestly, Evan Turner on the Sixers isn't like the bad, like really good season that comes to mind.
He always struck me as a guy, though, that was great on bad teams.
Okay. Point stands. I'm not going to argue against you on this one.
And so last year, you've got the breakout of Jordan Love. It was impressive. And then you've got Jordan Love, who hasn't seen the field as an actual starting quarterback. I know he started a game against Kansas City, but he didn't prepare all that entire week to be a starter. He did appear last year in Philadelphia in garbage time and looked pretty good. The official rankings of young quarterbacks from Randy Miller.
Who's number one?
You want to go 1 to 6?
Gosh,
not 6
I
to
always
1?
go. I have messed every single time I go from one.
Number 6. Out of the University of Cincinnati. Currently playing for the Atlanta Falcons.
Coached by Luke Fickell.
And Ritter. Are we alternating or am I just rolling?
Oh, you're rolling.
Number 5, out of the University of North Carolina. Currently coached by Eric Benamy. And
once coached by Phil Longo.
Sam Howell of the Washington Commanders.
Both touched by University of Wisconsin coaches.
Guess that's true.
Touched is a weird word.
Out of the University of Alabama. Currently being coached by Bill Belichick and Bill O'Brien. Mac Jones. Who had 3,800 yards and 22 touchdowns as a rookie quarterback while completing 68% of his passes. Number 3. The most bet quarterback for MVP in 2023 currently in Las Vegas. From The Ohio State University, currently in Chicago, the Windy City, it is Justin Fields.
Last time that a Chicago Bear had the most MVP preseason votes was Mitchell Trubisky. That didn't go well.
Did he have a lot of preseason MVP?
Joshy, yeah, I swear, like there was a year right after his rookie season, he was going to be like
he was the leading vote getter.
Number 2. The honorable mention, All Mountain West quarterback out of Utah State.
Throwing 18 touchdowns and 13 interceptions.
Currently playing in the frozen tundra under Matt LaFleur. It is Jordan Love.
I would have liked Show Me the Love in there.
I like the way that I did it. Number 1, out of Pitt, and he never left, Kenny Pickett. Little hands, Kenny Pickett.
CeeLo Green hands.
So Jordan Love at number 2, Justin Fields at number 3. I know, Josh, you haven't heard the name CeeLo Green.
I used to watch The Voice.
A legitimate decade.
You ever watch The Voice?
No.
He had little hands. It scared me. Little hands scare me.
That's odd.
I am surprised that Jordan Love is getting put up above Justin Fields when it comes to young quarterback ratings. I'm surprised he's ahead of Mac Jones, given that we haven't seen him. But maybe that's actually the best part of Jordan Love, is it's like backup quarterback syndrome. Nobody's actually seen him. So with Mac Jones after his rookie year, a lot of hope, a lot of love. Sophomore year, regresses, takes a step back. Nobody can deny that. Okay, he slides down the list. Desmond Ridder and Sam Howell, neither of them were first-round picks, so I think automatically you don't get that same sort of juice that you get when looking at him. The Justin Fields one is the one that legitimately surprises me. And for them to put Kenny Pickett above both of them is also very surprising.
Yeah, that one's really, really buying into Mike Tomlin and the Steelers and their ability to just figure out how to win. But
there's
I don't
a lot
think
of
that has a
offseason hype
correlation to,
around Kenny Pickett. There's a lot of offseason hype around Kenny Pickett this offseason.
He's got weapons.
Yes. So I think that the write-up quickly on Jordan Love is that his confidence throwing into tight windows has grown in this year's training camp and has shown in preseason games, which I agree. but also I think the biggest question mark around Jordan Love is going to be his accuracy, right? And so the idea of pointing to accuracy there, I like the idea of competence in terms of why you would put him in that place. But I am surprised. So we'll ask you on Twitter at Scalzo and Brust. Call us 800-990-3776. Get 800-990-ESPN. Would you put Jordan Love ahead of Justin Fields right now if you were ranking quarterbacks?
No, I mean, again, it comes from a place of not seeing him in a regular season game. There is not enough data points for Jordan Love. Even if you want to go with the data points that you have of him in regular season games, there's not enough there to say that he's going to have a better season than Justin Fields. Now, the one interesting thing that I think that I look at their names are Jordan Love, Justin Fields. I got this. Justin Fields last year, only 2,242 yards passing in 15 games. 1,143 rush yards. If you add those up, fair or unfair, that's right around the total yards that Jordan Love's prop is to throw for in 2023, over 3,400 yards, over or under 3,400 and a half yards. But that being said, the Bears were the worst team in the NFL last year. And people say they're on the ascend. Whether they're on the ascend or not, going from the worst team in the league to a 10-11 win team, I think is tough for any team to do. But they armed him with guys that aren't as young at the skill positions in tight end and wide receiver than the Packers have. They signed Cole Kmet to a big contract, the Bears did. They do have Bobby Tunyon, which is probably a better backup than what the Packers have at tight end. Then you look at DJ Moore and the playmaking ability he has, Darnell Mooney from a stretching the field standpoint, and blanking on Chase Claypool, which probably they oversold a second-round pick for. But those are three guys that have shown you something over the course of their careers in the NFL. We're still doing the need to see from the skill position players for the Green Bay Packers. So I have to go with the unknown of Jordan Love isn't good enough for me with 2 preseason games of action to say that he's going to have a better season than Justin Fields.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a tough one for me because I'm not super high on Justin Fields over the long term. I think the ceiling on Jordan Love is actually higher than it is on Justin Fields. And I know that sounds silly because I think right now Justin Fields at his best, right?
I don't think it sounds silly.
Is more of a playmaker than is Jordan Love. But I do think that there are diminishing returns at some point for a quarterback whose greatest strength is running the football.
A third of his yards last year were rushing the football.
I think if Lamar Jackson, who is better at throwing and running right now than Justin Fields, is having trouble translating that into long-term team success, the injuries are starting to pile up, all of that, then you have to worry a little bit about Justin Fields. But right now, like if you were to say, hey, we have to win games in 2023, who are you going with? I mean, the answer has to be Justin Fields. Like he's one of those guys that in one season, he can give you an epic season. We saw Lamar Jackson do it earlier. We've seen Michael Vick do it, right? Over a sustained period of time, I would trust more of what Jordan Love is, which, by the way, is a pocket passer. I know people keep talking about Jordan Love.
I heard Chewy compare him to Daniel Jones today. I was like, huh?
Chewy did say that he's a better runner than Daniel Jones, which I don't understand how that could possibly be the case.
Chewy's smart.
Given Daniel Jones ran for over 700 yards last year. And Jordan Love didn't run for that in 3 years combined in college. But I do think that as a pocket passer, I actually like that better. I think he's somebody that if the pocket collapses on him, he can move the same way Aaron Rodgers did. But I think that over the long term, I like Jordan Love more than I like Justin Fields. If it was within a year, I would like Justin Fields more than Jordan Love. Is that fair?
I think that's completely fair. And again, part of that is the guys around him.
Well, I'm not even considering the guys around him. I'm literally just saying if all else was equal, I think that the short-term ceiling for Justin Fields is higher. The long-term ceiling for Jordan Love is higher.
Okay. I mean, that's taking my opinion and making it even stronger.
There you go.
So thank you.
Ron and the Key, speaking of strength, welcome to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. What do you got?
So that list you just gave is basically like number of wagers for them to win. That was the ranked order?
No, that was a one person's ranking of the new starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Or the young starting quarterbacks.
We were just
And their
using the
chances-
MVP voting as like some context.
Apologies. The Gilda Radner, never mind. Because I was going to say, well, yeah, I mean, it's all about odds. If you gave me $1 million to 1 to beat Ben in a 3-point contest, you'd bet that $1, but you would never state it. Anyways, so then I'll digress to Greg's other point. The reason why he's got much more upside is you only have so many degrees of freedom on the unknown. Like right now, nobody knows anything of Jordan. So he has like the biggest range, whereas Fields is more defined. I don't think you really think he's going to do anything at best above average. Like if you had a bet right now, better or worse than Cutler?
Over his entire career, the safe bet is worse.
Yeah. Because people don't understand how good Cutler was, honestly, relevant to the league.
Correct.
But,
Well, to be fair to Packer fans, Jay Cutler threw the ball to the Packers a lot, and he might have played better in a lot of other games, but he did like throwing the ball to the Packers.
Jay Cutler's the greatest quarterback to ever play for the Chicago Bears. And it's not even a conversation.
Yeah,
but if you ask people don't realize how many, again, what do you guys say? There was 5 good quarterbacks in the league at any good time?
5 to 6 right now, yeah.
Yeah, so if you get average, really, what are you getting? Bad?
Yeah, but that's not fair to a guy who's starting in his first year. You can't expect him to be great year one.
There's 5 to 6 guys in there.
Thank you for the call.
There's 5 guys, I think, in the league, right? At any given time that you could say, we'll break out the E word again. We'll go back a decade and talk about them being elite. Those are the guys where put whatever the heck you want around them. They're going to keep you in the season. Aaron Rodgers was one of those guys. I would still put him in there. A lot of people wouldn't. But it's the Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. I still think I need to see another year from him to put him in that same tier as those 3 other guys.
People want to anoint Herbert as elite, but I'm not there yet either.
And so I think those are the 6 guys you might be talking about right now in that stratosphere. But look, you take away Tyreek Hill from Patrick Mahomes, he's still going to be great. You took guys away from Brady in his prime, he was still great. You took guys away from Rodgers in his prime, he was still great. Those are those elite level people. That next one can still win you a Super Bowl. They can still be really good, but they're just not at that elite level. And that's okay. And I think that is probably what you want to aim for with Jordan Love if you want to temper expectations, because the idea of being a top 3 to 5 guy in the NFL, it's just the numbers bear it out to be a really, really difficult thing to do. But that next one is Herbert. It is, maybe you put Rodgers in there at this point. Gino was in there last year. People would put Kirk Cousins in there last year. I certainly wouldn't. But that's because I'm an analytics guy, right, Joshy?
Yeah, it's probably fair to say that list includes probably 10 people that can be elite on any given season. Some quarterbacks just put it all together. Matt Ryan put it all together one year. There's plenty of guys who, when the circumstances are right, they play as if they are the best quarterback in the league. And those same guys in 2 years might be league average and not quite what you're looking for, but they still get you in the position when things go right to win a Super Bowl.
Mike Sando does a good job of this where he breaks out his quarterback tiers. Tier 1 basically says the quarterback can carry the team each week. Team wins because of him. Tier 2 is quarterback can carry his team sometimes, but not as consistently. And then Tier 3 gets into a legitimate starter, but needs a heavier run game and or defensive component to win. And then the Tier 4, you start to get into your... unproven player or a veteran who would not start all 17 games. That's where Jordan Love is right now in the Mike Sando rankings. But his Tier 1 is Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Rodgers, and Herbert. And I still think those last 2 still aren't at the same tier as those top 3. Rodgers has the ability to get back there really quickly, and maybe last year was an outlier.
I love your snaps. They're good.
Snap off. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Bill from Wauwatosa chimes in and says, is he better than Nick Foles? He won a Super Bowl. We'll discuss that next. Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
Bigger gamble, egg salad out of a vending machine or gas station sushi?
Egg salad.
I stopped off at a gas station for a snack, and I ended up with a full Bavarian pretzel the other day. Like a soft pretzel. It's a wild ride.
Did you have nacho cheese with it?
No. I raw dogged it.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Delays continue along southbound 43 from before Hampton Avenue all the way down past Locust. Northbound side's going to be a bit heavy between Locust and Keith. Westbound 94, watch for delays coming around 20th Street, and those stretch all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then on southbound 41, on and off the brakes from Silver Spring all the way down to about Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, isolated storms early, then fog is possible and still quite humid, a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, cooler, but still humid, a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Football guy.
If that is the case, Tuesday is amazing because you get a free bonus square day off.
Football guy.
Why is the Friday after Thanksgiving off, but the day before our independence isn't off?
Coming at it from different views. Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely going to need a cold one. There's the one. That's right, we're going with an Oktoberfest from Potosi. And now that fall is peeking its head around the corner, I'm joined by Wonder from Potosi Brewing Company to share all about what Potosi has going on with their fall special seasonals.
Our Oktoberfest comes in at 5.5%. It's golden, it's got a great balance of hops and malts. It's a great beer. We're also coming out with Stingy Jack. This is our pumpkin spice beer. And then it's also balanced with pumpkin pie spices. That also comes in at 6.5%. Both of them come in cans and in draft.
Thanks to Wonder for telling us all about the brews so we can look forward as the season starts to turn. And remember, folks, as you head towards fall and football season, the fridge better be stocked.
The next era
Jordan knows he has all the support around him.
is here.
I know he's excited. I know his teammates are excited for him. I can promise you, everybody wants him to have a lot of success this year.
Jordan Love's first training camp as QB1 is underway.
Being a Green Bay Packer, there's always very high expectations, and nothing changes. I look at it as a fresh start.
Keep it right here all throughout camp as we react to every practice rep happening in Green Bay. We are Milwaukee's home to talk green and gold. 94.5 ESPN.
Sunday. That's right, folks. Great Lakes Dragway's 2023 race season is in full swing. Come out to see our annual events like Memorial Day Weekend, Labor Day Weekend, Nitro Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, Larry's Fun Fest, and Bug Fest. Looking for something new and exciting? Come see the Night of Fire Jet Show. Want the track all to yourself? Email or call about a private track rental. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for contact information and our full season schedule. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Look at all this space I have on my desk. Finally, no more clutter.
I know, right? Plus, now I can actually see everyone and talk to them whenever I want.
Would you stop trying to ask people if there are more doors or wheels in the world?
Speaking of wheels, these chairs, woo!
I've never been more comfortable at work.
Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors, the official moving and furniture provider of GKB Milwaukee. You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
What a Grateful Dead Thursday here on Scalzo and Brust. We're presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, young Riley Yao, you, the Scalzo and Brust family. Ben in Menominee Falls, claims I said Happy Tuesday to start the show on a Grateful Dead Thursday. It's possible.
I think it is entirely possible because I was shocked you were here.
I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
We're asking you, the Scalzo and Brust family, as Randy Miller had put Jordan Love, number 2 on his young quarterback rankings, ahead of Justin Fields, behind Kenny Pickett. Who would you rank as the better young quarterback? Is it Justin Fields? Is it Jordan Love? 800-990-3776. 262 chimes in, says Justin Fields is a running back, not a quarterback. That sounds like somebody who's living in 1995. Now it's becoming more important than ever to be able to run the ball. And I think the Eagles probably did the best job of any team last year at showing how a running quarterback could be so effective, especially in third and short situations, and especially inside of the red zone, where they created plays that seemingly were impossible to stop until you changed the rules in terms of their rugby scrums that they would run.
As everyone may know, I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan, but one thing I will not miss is Aaron Rodgers never wanting to run a quarterback sneak. Ever. Like, they never did. I hope Jordan Love is willing.
But is that Rodgers or is that the coach?
We'll find out.
Yeah.
We'll find out with Rodgers gone. It always felt like in third and fourth and short, they were in the shotgun. Like, can we utilize our strong offensive line? Can we utilize A.J. Dillon to push Jordan Love from behind the way we've seen other teams do with, Justin Fields and Jalen Hurts? Like, again, I'm not asking for much here. I just want to see them sneak the damn ball to get first downs.
800-990-ESPN. Bill 4 in Wauwatosa, the 4th Bill in Tosa chimes in, says, is Jordan Love better than Nick Foles? Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. I hope Jordan Love is better than Nick Foles. If he's not, you're in trouble. Nick Foles is a great example of a guy who caught fire, had an incredible run with an incredible team around him. But if you're looking for a guy to build around for the next decade plus, Nick Foles never had staying power anywhere that he played in his career. And he's a great teammate, and he was a guy who people loved and adored, and he was given opportunities. But I think Jordan Love, the expectation needs to be higher than Nick Foles. I think once you get into the Kirk Cousins conversation, I think that's somewhat of a fair expectation, maybe even on the high end if you look at some of the stats in there. But I think that Jordan Love, if I were to put him on those quarterback tiers, the expectation should be that he's a legitimate starter but needs a heavier run game or a good defense to win. And could he eventually turn into one of those tier 1 or tier 2 guys? But to start, the goal is for him to just prove that he is a consistent, legitimate starter in the NFL.
I just want to reiterate, having a strong run game and a defense that helps you win is okay. That is an okay thing to put Jordan Love in that tier heading into his first year as a starter. Because if you put him in a situation where he has to be the reason for this team to win, that's not fair to Jordan Love.
Of course.
They need Jair Alexander in that defense to create turnovers. They need Rashawn Gary, who is coming off an injury, getting first-team reps again, to have a pass rush that helps this defense create turnovers.
Now, the defense also needs some sustained drives, and they need him to limit turnovers. So, yeah, it's, of course, as always, a symbiotic relationship. Stephen Pewaukee chimes in and says, question on Rodgers and elite. Last year, without an elite wide receiver, he struggled. You could argue he's had elite/near elite wide receivers his entire career. And oh, how the worm has turned. Less than 2 years ago, the message was Aaron Rodgers has never been surrounded by weapons in his career. They've never drafted a first-round wide receiver for him. He's never been given enough talent to win. They never went all in. No midseason trade. No big free agent acquisition. And now, when the Joshie DiMaggios of the world despise Aaron Rodgers to an extent that is unfathomable 2 years ago, it is, I think Rodgers was just propped up by his elite wide receivers.
Guess what? I think Romeo Doubs, if he didn't like the way Rodgers went about being his teammate, how do you think Doubs would have done with Brady?
Doubs would not have done great with Brady. Brady is another guy who struggled with young wide receivers. Julian Edelman was one of the few guys they drafted and developed in New England, and it took him 5 years to get himself on the field.
Also, let's be honest with ourselves here. Being a good quarterback, you're likely going to need some talent on the outside as well, right? All the guys we mentioned that have been elite have elite pass-catching weapons. They just do. Like, that's part of being a good quarterback.
But it also, the quarterback helps make those elite pass-catching weapons as well. I think the hope, too, for Jordan Love is can you get a tight end a la, an elite tight end the way that Mahomes has Kelsey. Brady had Gronkowski.
Goddard last year for Hurts.
I'm not saying that Musgrave is going to turn into those guys when it comes to the highest level of tight end play, perhaps in the history of the NFL. But I think Musgrave does have the athletic ability to stretch the field in a way that Jermichael Finley did for Aaron Rodgers early on in his career. Josh, you look like you're trying to get in on something. Or am I just reading your face wrong?
You're reading my face wrong. I was just amazed that Ben decided to go to Dallas.
God, that was an interesting one. I was running right by the Dallas Goddard. Gronkowski, Kelsey, Goddard.
Same tier. Same tier of tight ends. My overall point was there's great pass catchers for good quarterbacks, or elite quarterbacks as well.
Kevin Sheboygan said that when he was listening to Amina Kimes' podcast, she described Love as not a running quarterback, but he does have the athletic ability to tuck it and run for a first down or keeper in the red zone.
Agree.
That's just the base level of what you need in today's NFL. Like, you could say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. You could say the same thing about Patrick Mahomes. You could say the same thing, heck, about Trevor Lawrence, right? I mean, these guys are guys who are athletic enough to tuck it, run, get some yards, but they're not by any means running quarterbacks, and that's no reason why they're better than anybody else. Kevin continues, I think Love has the better career than Fields, but right now I can't say Love is better. I fully expect Fields will have a good statistical season, win 5 games, while Love's stats won't be as impressive, but they'll be the better team. I think that's fair.
I think it's completely fair, too.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Twitter, at Scalzo and Brust. You can vote on the poll there. We'll be back with some 1 or 0 on Scalzo and Brust. We're presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
He has absolutely not been recreated. He's been this guy forever.
He stopped trying to roll out of the pocket. He plays within the system, and he's been
such hogwash.
It's not hogwash.
Right now.
It is not hogwash.
It is such hogwash right now.
It is not hogwash. It is 100% not hogwash.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Delays continue along southbound 43. We're looking at backups from Silver Spring all the way down past Fond du Lac Avenue, and then again across the Marquette interchange onto 4394. The northbound side's a bit heavy from Fond du Lac up past Keefe, and then on northbound 41 slowing out of the Zoo interchange all the way up past Swan Boulevard. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, isolated showers and storms early. Fog is possible. Still quite humid, a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, but cooler, but still humid, a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The biggest pro football contests in Vegas are back and bigger than ever with $14 million in guaranteed prizes only at Circus Sports. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. 2 ways to win and no rate. Play Circa Million, where you make 5 picks against the spread each week with 100% payback. Or join Circus Survivor, where you select 1 team each week straight up. Last the longest to win it all. $14 million in guaranteed prizes. Visit circusports.com for details.
Kessler's works with crazy genius diamond cutters around the globe.
But we keep our crazy genius jewelry designers right here at home, where we can keep them busy.
Monica, I heard we gave our design team a challenge.
Yes, we gathered all 14 of them together and made their eyes sparkle with joy. What did you say? I said we wanted each of them to design a pendant that looks and feels like springtime.
Springtime! New life!
14 designers? 14 pendants?
Yes, and we manufactured exactly 8 copies of each of these 14 designer pendants.
There are only 112 of these limited edition pendants in the whole world?
Yep, and they will sell for only $299.
Wow.
One last thing, we're donating all the profits to the charity of the designer's choice.
Being employee-owned gives us the freedom to do fun things.
And then we share those things with you, the people we love.
See the crazy genius designer pendants at KesslersDiamonds.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? you might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At QC Kinetics, we have story after story of patients freed from agonizing pain through amazing regenerative treatments. But this one, well, it's extra special.
My father, who is 70 years old, had both of his knees worn out. He went to an orthopedic surgeon who said, you need both of your knees operated on. We can book you for next week.
But Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a QC Kinetics medical director, knew he had other options.
I had him come to QC Kinetics. We treated both of his knees using our protocols with regenerative medicine. Within a few months, he was back to walking. A few months later, he was at the gym exercising 3 times a week. He can keep up with our 3.5-year-old little girl.
No surgery, no complicated rehab or downtime.
It's completely life-changing for him.
You have options too. Before they whisk you away to surgery, slow down. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, young Riley Yauch, the Scalzo and Brust family on Twitter, at Scalzo and Brust. If you were ranking NFL quarterbacks right now, would you rank Jordan Love above Justin Fields? 56% of the family says no. 44% says yes. Surprising answer there. You could also chime in, 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Joshy, let's hit some 1 or 0s.
Are you a 1 or a 0? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you a yes or a no?
There's no such thing as a gray area. Life is binary. It's just a 1 or a 0. 1 or 0 is presented by Circa Sports. Play the Circa Million and Circa Survivor with $14 million in guaranteed prizes. Only at Circa Sports. Enter in Vegas. Play from anywhere. Visit circasports.com for details.
Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo are your contestants for 1 or 0. Josh DiMaggio is your host. He gives us asks us a question. We say 1 for yes, 0 for no. There is no gray area. Joshy, take it away.
I was going to read Jerry Jones's quote here, but I'm just going to play it so we can enjoy it in all its glory.
It's so good.
This is courtesy of Fox News 4 in Dallas.
Faster he drives 100 miles an hour and has a wreck, in this, how do you conjugate all that? How do you balance those things?
Well, first of all, I'm saying that he is, which is more often the case than not, this sounds a little hollow, but he does and is maturing, and he is. What was he going, 66? Was he going 66 miles an hour?
Last year?
No, this year. So he's 34 miles an hour less than this year than he was last year. 98 to 66, so that's improvement.
So basically he's saying there, the guy who got arrested last year for going 96 miles per hour and was arrested with, I believe it was weapons and narcotics as well. Since he was only going 66 this time, he did incorrect math. He's maturing because he's only 32 miles. It's 32 miles less. 1 or 0. Getting pulled over for driving 32 miles per hour less is maturing.
I'm going to go with 1, actually. I think he learned from his mistakes. Did he learn to the point where he's driving closer to the legal speed limit? Yes. So, by math, Jerry Jones isn't wrong here. He's learned his lesson and he cut his speed in half. Now, the more fascinating part to me is the media conglomerate around Jerry Jones laughing. Like Jerry Jones is like a jokester. because they'll do anything for Jerry Jones to like them. What are we doing here?
That's a conscious decision.
You know what I mean?
You want to be on Jerry's good side.
No, I don't. Why? He's old.
Excess.
He's an idiot.
He's a billionaire. Owns the team.
All of this is hollow.
He did say it was hollow.
This is clearly not an example of Sam Williams maturing.
It's top down. Top down, baby.
32 miles an hour. Like, no. You just don't speed at that point.
Hire a driver.
You could do that as well. Like, my point is like, no, maturing is not getting pulled over. Like, that's it. He's still speeding just because he was going 40, 30 miles an hour.
Okay, come on. There's a limit here. If he's going 15 over, we
don't hear about it.
Yeah, it doesn't make news.
That's my thing. You said don't speed. If he gets a ticket for 15 over,
I think that now everything you're
that's
saying.
Maturing.
Everything you're saying is hollow. There's clearly something about this person where he is too risk prone, especially given everything he has a chance to lose. So no, that's not maturing. And I do think when you look at the Cowboys post 90s, the fact that the owner is laughing about this tells you why that culture has not produced a winning team.
Top down.
After missing another 2 field goals at Packers training camp, Mason Crosby posted a video of him making a deep field goal with a Deion Sanders quote that said, "I ain't too hard to find." This is not the first time Mason Crosby has done this.
Hang on, just to add some you're meaning after Anders Carlson missed 2 field goals.
Correct. Yes, that's what I meant. Anders Carlson missed another 2 field goals at training camp. This is not the first time Mason Crosby has posted a video like this, and it's not the first time it's been when Anders Carlson missed some kicks. However, Anders Carlson has also missed a kick almost in every training camp practice. 1-0. Mason Crosby is purposely teasing the Packers.
But like, if I'm him, I sign with anybody but the Packers at this point, right? With the way he was moved out, you don't come back.
Yes.
No, you don't. You don't show grace after you're kicked out like that.
Really?
I guess money talks.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about millions of dollars. Like, to kick a football, by the way, and not have to go to training camp. Like, if they call, he's going to be back in Green Bay.
Right. I think if he has equal offers, he'd probably choose somewhere else.
Ron and the Key makes an interesting point about the first one. Ben started this 1-0 by criticizing the media for sucking up to power. He then goes to, you should be so proud that you will give up money and turn down an opportunity to make money because you were cut. Like, what? I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy going on from you. So
yeah, I'm really trying to suck up to the Packers. Matt LaFleur and the Packers really love me.
What? It's not power that we're talking about, though.
That's true. Sorry, I don't like when I'm caught in the hypocrisy because I do
fair.
it so
Nobody
much.
Does. Nobody likes.
Well, I do it a lot. So
since we're on the subject, earlier last year you said that the Packers wide receivers were whiners, and then you applauded Aaron Rodgers and his ability to change and be different, and how those wide receivers won't accept it. So it's kind of inconsistent.
How long have you been holding on to that?
Yeah,
one?
my God, Joshy, that was from the bottom of the chamber. What?
That was a weird.
I thought you were going into another 1-0, but you just made a statement.
No, I just remembered it. It was yesterday. You guys were on a roll. You guys were doing your thing. It's been eating at me for the past 24 hours.
Really?
No, not really. Just remembered it.
No.
Oh, I was going to call you out for hypocrisy. I didn't. I was nice. Now I'm not being nice.
All right, Mr. Preseason doesn't matter. Now Jordan Love is good.
After trading assets to get up and draft Trey... Is this the right one you wanted me to read?
Yeah.
Okay. After trading assets to get up and draft Trey Lance, number 3 overall in 2021, the San Francisco 49ers named Trey Lance their 3rd-string quarterback, and they appear to be trying to trade him. 1-0. The Packers should trade for Trey Lance in case Jordan Love doesn't work out.
0. If he's not good enough to be on San Francisco's roster with everything that they have around them, then he's not going to be good enough to play for the Packers, who are a work in progress trying to grow.
I'm going to go ahead and say 1 if you could trade basically nothing for him, right? Like, if it's a throwaway, maybe it's a, what's the word that I'm looking for here,
compensatory?
Josh? Not even compensatory, but like...
late round?
No,
Conditional.
conditional pick. So if he's on the roster for 8 games
Correct.
and you give up a 6th-round pick or whatever, I think he's worth a conditional pick. And maybe he develops into a solid backup. Maybe there is a goal line package with him where you could use him out of a,
Taysom Hill kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, like he's a big, strong guy who is known more as a runner. And obviously there was enough there where even if the 49ers didn't trade up to pick him 2nd overall, he would have been a top 10 pick. And look at what the 49ers just created as their backup quarterback, a former number 2 overall pick in Sam Darnold.
It would be a good story for Matt LaFleur to finally have one on Kyle Shanahan.
Ooh, imagine if he turned Trey Lance around.
That'd be sweet. Winner zero, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan deserve more criticism for their team building.
You know what? 0 because they still produce good teams. Like, they're the best in terms of making it work with bad quarterbacks. They're the worst at finding good quarterbacks. It's so bizarre. You would think the people that are great at getting players who are mediocre to, like, hit their ceiling would be great at finding those other players. And that's why the Trey Lance thing felt like such a no-brainer, because they traded up. He was hand-selected. That was their guy. And all of a sudden, a year after me and you, all 3 of us, in fact, were excited about him being our starting quarterbacks in fantasy football, thinking, oh, he's got a potential to be a top 5 fantasy guy. Now he's the 3rd-string quarterback behind Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold.
Well, at least they were able to move on from him quicker than Goody did with Amari Rodgers.
It's fair. Is Amari Rodgers on another team?
I don't think so.
I believe he just got cut.
He got
recently.
cut.
We should have him on the show. What?
What's he going to say?
You're not interested in the Amari Rodgers story?
I'm interested. I just, what was it like standing under a punt with your knee shaking?
I would only want him to answer honestly about Aaron Rodgers, who made it pretty public he didn't believe in him from pretty much the moment he got into Green Bay.
Was he wrong?
No, I'm saying I want to know what that feels like. I would like an honest answer. When
hopeless, dark,
maybe the greatest quarterback in Packers history is like, yeah, this guy ain't got it.
Yeah, didn't he say? He said something pretty direct.
Yes,
like
we can't field punts is what he said. I think once.
No, but and even I don't want him anywhere near the offense.
Yes, correct.
It's tough.
I love Aaron. That's so good. It's so good.
The thing about Aaron is he might not know which of his old friends still got it, but he's picked out the young guys that stink pretty much
early.
Right away. Jay Sternberger, he knows right away, like, this
that guy sucks.
Yeah.
And I will say, as much as people want to always criticize him for being a teammate, he knows the guys that he needs to work with off the field in order to get them better on the field. MVS, Jermichael Finley, like guys where he's like, hey, these guys are insanely talented, like, let me work with them, and he spends time with them to get them there.
Up until last season.
Well,
don't blame him.
I want to know what the Romeo Doubs Aaron Rodgers issue is. Like, what is that? Because it's clear he didn't like Watson and Dobbs, and it could just be, quite frankly, but it could just be that he was in a sour mood heading into last season. When you're in a bad mood all the time, you're just not as willing to, like, be your best self.
Especially when his nemesis is Goody, and it's somebody that Goody drafted. In a way, maybe it got a little bit of spite in his head.
Jason talks about it often, where Rodgers felt like he did enough for Romeo Doubs, but Romeo Doubs didn't feel that he does enough for him. So it's like kind of the generational divide.
Yeah.
And then there's probably Romeo knowing, like, this guy doesn't really care.
We got a lot of people walking around an open house here at the offices at the 3rd Street Market Hall going on here for Good Karma Brands Milwaukee. And part of the reason we're having the open house is because this beautiful new facility that we're in. And it is all connected technologically by our friends at Smart Spaces. What's wrong, Ben?
I got to pee.
But you can't wait.
You're not going to talk to me anymore.
How do you? But you don't have anything to add into the show?
I mean, the office is beautiful and it's really smart.
Go. I mean, it's so unbelievable. And then you know what's going to happen? He's going to come back in here and he's just going to sit on his phone for like 3 minutes.
I had to go so bad.
Smart Spaces has allowed our company's space to become smarter, technologically integrated, and able to perform beautifully across all virtual meeting environments. And that's the world that your company has to live in, just as we do. You walk into any one of our conference rooms, it's connected. You know whether or not somebody's booked it for a meeting. It's all connected through our company's software. So when I book a meeting on Outlook, boom, it pops up. Room is registered. All I got to do is walk into that room, hit one button. I'm connected to everybody I need to be connected to. And that's because Smart Spaces got us the right technology for the right reasons. They listen to us, our needs, and they provided seamless solutions for our office. They'll do the same for you. So improve your business today at smartspaceswi.com. That's smartspaceswi.com.
I think they should have a slogan that's something like Smart Spaces, we're dummy proof. Because I didn't do any of the trainings or get taught how to do it, and I figured it out right away. I was amazed by it.
Smart Spaces, we're dummy proof. Yeah. Scalzo and Brust rolls on next. We're presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
What do you mean by training your body to like spicy things? That's a weird way to put it.
I really enjoy spicy things now, but I didn't eat spicy things until I got to college. Like, spicy things were never in...
You had to train your body? Like, didn't you just like eating it when you tried it?
No, it was like hot. Like, I was like, I don't know if I like this tingly thing that's in my mouth.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Announcing the former All-Star Buick GMC is now the all-new Cunis Buick GMC of Oak Creek. And the former John Paul's Buick GMC is now the all-new Cunis Buick GMC of Greenfield, Milwaukee's Buick GMC headquarters. Greg Cunis was recently named Time Magazine's Wisconsin Automotive Dealer of the Year. Plus, Cunis dealerships have been awarded Top 100 Best in the U.S. by the Automotive News the past 9 years. Our mission is to bring the Cunis Auto Group's unequaled customer satisfaction and service to our friends in the greater Milwaukee area. Cunis Milwaukee Buick GMC stores have the area's largest pre-owned car, truck, and SUV inventory with over 3,000 vehicles available on lot or online and always at a price and payment you can afford. And all new and pre-owned Cunis vehicles come with our exclusive no-fear lifetime warranty coverage at no extra charge. So buy like a champion at the all-new Cunis Buick GMC of Oak Creek, 7020 South 27th Street, or Cunis Buick GMC of Greenfield, 3615 South 108th Street. Milwaukee's Buick GMC headquarters.
Football guy.
If that is the case, Tuesday is amazing because you get a free bonus square day off.
Football guy.
Why is the Friday after Thanksgiving off, but the day before our independence isn't off?
Coming at it from different views. Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also sponsored by Coors Light. Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. And available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
The workplace has changed a lot thanks to technology, and more recently, the shift to a flexible or remote schedule. Your business must adapt to maintain a great culture, attracting quality candidates and keeping them. You need Smart Spaces. The team of interior integrators at Smart Spaces brings creativity and expertise, assessing the walls, ceiling, lighting, flooring, furniture, and audiovisual systems to create places that matter in the modern world, fully functional for those in the building and for others to interact remotely. Get started today at smartspaceswi.com.
Coffee drinkers and Jen, Gabe, and Chewy fans, unite! Join JGC and 1848 Coffee in New Berlin for Customer Appreciation Day this Friday. Stop by for free drip coffee and cold brew from 7 a.m. until noon. Plus, check out Jen, Gabe, and Chewy broadcasting live from 7 to 9. NASCAR drivers Ty Majeski and Ben Rhodes will be along for the ride all morning long as well, signing autographs and taking photos. Make sure you get in early. The first 50 people receive a free race shirt. Plus, you can enter to win free coffee for a year. Stop by 1848 Coffee in New Berlin on Friday for Customer Appreciation Day.
Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, this is Bo stepping in for Ridgetop Larry, here to tell you about Ridgetop Exterior's most affordable payment options, including no interest and low interest financing. For your free estimate, visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors, visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Are you looking for the perfect restaurant for your next night out? Then make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate, your next dinner destination. Specializing in artisanal American cuisine, Aria features carefully prepared seasonal entrees along with a robust selection of craft cocktails, wine, and local beer. Join them on Sundays for the restaurant's famous trademark chicken, served family style with sides like mashed potatoes, goat cheese biscuits, and more. Make your plans today to dine at Aria. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com. That's aria@stkate.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Brust for Road America, where vintage racing lives on. Experience the sights, sounds, and smells from motorsport's pioneering age in historic Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Road America's 2023 season offers numerous opportunities to watch vintage race cars take on the iconic 4-mile road course. The Aaron's Art of Wheels Vintage Weekend wraps up the 2023 Road America race season September 15th through the 17th. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com. Road America, America's national park of speed.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL.
Running from your window, I was all night running. Lord, I wonder if you care.
Scalzo and Brust presented.
I had a running
by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light, brewed to be a delicious and easy to drink beer, even when the little things in life are hard. Like when Anders Carlson missed a kick. And the game goes into overtime, but you have even more time to enjoy it. And a fresh Bud Light. God, that's a good feeling. Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Enjoy Bud Light today. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, you, the Scalzo and Brust family. Calling, texting 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Now all of a sudden, the comments are basically playing out whether or not Rodgers was propped up by great wide receivers. Robin McGuanago says the narrative that Rodgers needed more weapons came from Rodgers bootlickers. Not gootlickers, but bootlickers. The ones that conveniently forget they had the number one offense a couple years ago and still cried about getting a first-round receiver. No, being number one was not solely because of Rodgers. If it was, then he wouldn't have struggled so much when he lost Adams, the real MVP.
Wait, Devontae Adams was?
Yeah, got him all those MVPs.
Naturally.
Good Lord.
Meanwhile, Justin from Milwaukee chimes in and says, I'm still recovering from Rodgers propped up by elite talent text. The hate is strong out there. Remember the Cardinals playoff game when we were down to 3 random wide receivers and he tied the game? Should have went for 2. Also says Rodgers made Watson and Dobbs the first rookie duo to have 40-plus catches and 3-plus touchdowns since 1998, and both were also hurt a bunch. He did plenty for those two. Suck it up and ball out for Love now.
That's heat.
When you look at last year, like I think the answer is somewhere in the middle. I think it was very overstated that Rodgers needed more weapons, but I also think it's very overstated that he needed great weapons to be great. And the idea to point to last year when his top wide receivers were Allen Lazard, who's a number 4 guy, and 2 rookies. With his top tight end being Mercedes Lewis?
I've screamed to the high heavens that, like, if you showed up to work as a
You're not a Rodgers guy. Get out of here. I'm kidding.
If I showed up to work after back-to-back MVPs and they gave me a wide receiver with a lot of talent and upside who caught like 10 balls in his senior season of D1 AA football at North Dakota State, and then a 4th-round pick out of Nevada, I would exactly be like, oh yeah, this is fun to come to work after back-to-back number 1 seeds in the NFC. Yeah, this feels great. I'm so happy to be here. I love my guy Goot. He really armed me with everything I needed to help make this team be great offensively.
On Twitter, at Scalzo and Brust. If you were ranking NFL quarterbacks right now, would you rank Jordan Love above Justin Fields? 53% say no. 47% say yes. Seth Schroeder just screen grabbed the stats for the last 2 years for Justin Fields and says, we'll leave this here.
Is it just the passing?
No, it's passing and rushing. He literally just screen grabbed footballreference.com. Didn't give his analysis or anything.
Does he mean that's good or bad?
That's the Justin Fields conundrum. I mean, obviously 21 wasn't good, but last year, I mean, yeah, when you have games where Justin Fields rushed for 178 yards and a touchdown, and the next week rushes for 147 yards and 2 touchdowns, I think that is pretty significant. So
again, I'm not saying that like Justin Fields is amazing, but like they also added weapons to help make him a better passer this year.
Yeah, of course. And we're going to see what that looks like. And of course, when it comes to fantasy football, like Fields is the better quarterback for a reason, and is going to be one of those top guys. Speaking of, we have our fantasy draft on Tuesday.
We do.
Craig Karmazin in our league. Questionable whether or not he's going to make the draft. Found that out today. The really interesting thing, though, is are we back with a Cover 5 league in Sunday Karma? And what happened from last year's Sunday Karma League? Who lost that has to take the ACT or the SAT?
I have a lot of gripes with the Sunday Karma 10 to noon show with the CEO of this company. He's kind of not great at following through. I've won the last 2 years courtside seats to a Bucks game. I haven't been to a courtside seat Bucks game yet. 2 years in a row.
I think that's on you.
Yeah, it's on you, buddy.
Why is that on me?
Like, what do you mean? You reach out. I think you only won once.
I've won 2. I've won the last 2 years of the Sunday Karma Challenge. Cover 5 in the year before.
And didn't you?
It's an email.
Oh, it's the random one the year before. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I think you just need to do that.
Brian D.
Do you see how quickly he made this about himself, Joshy?
Well, I had to call out the CEO for not thinking about me as much as he needs to.
No, he shouldn't. That would make him bad if he's thinking about you all the time.
That's why I said that, Gregory. Jeepers Christmas, Mr. Bootlicker over here.
I'm just saying.
Queggy Comison.
I'm just saying, the fact that you have such a complex that everyone needs to only be thinking of you of all time is a distinctly a you problem.
Absolutely.
Okay. Because if you reached out and said, hey, here's some games I want to go to the Bucks courtside, I'm sure he would respond.
I did do that, and they were booked up for other people.
Well, then did you give him more games, or did you just...
It's the end of the season.
Yeah, all right. Well, you do remember one of those games actually isn't for you. It's for me and your dad.
That's right.
Yes.
You did win one of those through me.
It was me and Big John.
Now, the bigger gripe, outside of me, is that Brian D...
You ruined it, though. You already blew it. You blew it on you.
No. Yeah. I didn't blow it. Brian D...
Blowed it.
Lost his junk.
So Brian D has to do the ACT?
No, he got his Brazilian wax when he lost the year before.
Can you just tell me who lost the last year's damn contest and needs to take the ACT? Was it Kyle?
It was Jen Latta.
Oh, how has she not done that yet?
She's probably too scared to embarrass herself on what her score will be.
I thought she was really confident.
Me too.
In the ACT SAT challenge.
Again, I'm just telling you what happened. What happened was a lot of excuses, a lot of I'm traveling, a lot of I'm this, that, the other thing. There's been no ACT or SAT
Joshy,
taken.
as the esteemed producer of this show, can you put a call out to Sunday Karma and figure out when the bet is being paid off?
Yeah. Do you want them to do it on their show? Do you want me just to call Craig?
We don't care.
Mean?
We want it to be executed.
I just want to see what she gets on the ACT, and then we can start placing bets on what the over-under is, whether it's ACT or SAT. I'm thinking, I'm like so in this year's fantasy football. Like, are we doing Cover 5 challenge? We've got the other league that we play. Like,
we just need to know.
It makes me uncomfortable when things aren't like tied to, like, what kind of show is a show that doesn't pay off their bets?
I
couldn't imagine being a part of a show like that.
I'm the king of paying off bets. Like, I do it all the time. We're the gold standard.
He's got a knack for that, Joshy.
Ruining the joke?
Yeah. Just yes.
Talking about the joke out loud.
Making every joke worse.
Seinfeld?
No, it wasn't good enough for that.
Back in 2 minutes, Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
I'll be better.
Well, we do have an accident on eastbound Lincoln Avenue at 69th Street. All the eastbound lanes are blocked right now because of that, so give yourself some extra time if you have to get through that. Otherwise, on the freeway system, we do have a little bit of a backup with an accident 41 northbound at Watertown Plank Road. That is off on the left shoulder, slowing out of the Zoo Interchange up to that point. We've also got the southbound side of the bypass backing up out of the Zoo Interchange all the way down to about National Avenue. And westbound 94, heavy out of the Marquette through to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from Highway 100, stretching all the way out to Gerke's Corners. Traffic is brought to you by Carroll University's master's programs in athletic training, exercise physiology, and sports physiology and performance coaching. Learn more at carrollu.edu/sports-science. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Isolated storms early, then fog is possible. Still quite humid, a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, cooler, but still humid, a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue.
Party,
this is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light
it's a party,
on 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
The official beer of the NFL. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, young Riley Yauk. You, the Scalzo and Rust family, calling, texting 800-990 ESPN 800-990-3776. Brett in Madison wants to make sure last year we know that Rodgers was playing with a broken thumb, which got ignored by a lot of fans. Not only that, the thumb was barely hanging. Like, the break was so bad, it was barely connected to his hand. And you're right. I don't think enough fans are giving him credit for playing through that gruesome injury. And then he broke his ribs a few weeks later and still played through that as the Warrior quarterback that he is, who inspires greatness.
Didn't even make excuses about it.
Nope.
Even though it definitely affected his throws, he said it doesn't affect it because he didn't want to make it about him. It's not Aaron Rodgers' way.
That is true. Packers last year, however, only won 8 games. The over-under 7.5 games this year. Stephen A. Smith tells you what he thinks about the Packers' ability to get over that number.
The reason I'm going to say over is because I expect their defense to be respectable. Most of their
Most of their players are intact. When you look at offensively, this kid, Christian Watson, you got Romeo, where Arthur Romeo Dobbs. He's going to be there. You still got Aaron Jones in the backfield. He's going to be there. Put Dan Orlovsky up. I don't like not seeing him when I'm talking sometimes because we never know what he's going to be doing. You know what I'm saying? He might be sitting there trying to, negotiate with the Vikes to get another coach seat. Crying out loud with his cheap self. The point is that, Jordan Love is the question. Jordan Love is the question mark. And here's the thing. I'm looking at this schedule right now. They got to go against the AFC West this year. They got the Raiders, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Chiefs, okay? So I'm predicting they're going to lose. Myself, listen, Green Bay should win more than 7.5 games because they're a damn good team. They just lost Aaron Rodgers with Lazard and Cobb, but primarily Aaron Rodgers. But in the end, I'm of the mindset that I predict they'll win about 9 games. They'll probably go about 9-8.
Stephen A. Smith playing the schedule game there. 9-8 he has. And
Did it a little bit more efficiently than we do.
Because he... You do. Yes. You didn't let me do my schedule game this year. You just ran through your own. What's interesting is he basically said the defense, the supporting cast is enough to get them over the 8. Like, does Jordan Love have to be good in order for them to get over 7.5?
I think he could be good and they don't even get over 7.5.
How?
Because of Anders Carlson, because of Stephen A. starting with the defenses intact. Like, it started with defense, and then he said Jordan Love's the question. So if Jordan Love's the question, like, I'm almost throwing out his prediction all in all. Because if Jordan Love's good, Anders Carlson could still lose you games. The defense over the last 3 years has not shown you the key word here, consistency over 17 games to win you games. Right? Like, have they shown flashes? Yes. The end of last season, they performed well to help him get on a 5-game win streak. Like, there's just not enough with young pass catchers at the tight end and wide receiver positions with a first-year quarterback that would tell me, like, even if Jordan Love's good and, like, was Justin Fields good at times last year? Yes, they were the worst team in the NFL. Jordan Love could be good, and they could be 6-11.
They could be, but I think if Jordan Love is good, then the over at 7.5 is a much better play than the under at 7.5.
Sure, but
the Packers defense is not atrocious. By no means do I think they're going to win games, but I don't think they're going to lose a ton. The offense, if Jordan Love is good, I think can click in certain areas. I think they're going to be able to score some points. You do have 2 really good running backs. If Jordan Love is good, those wide receivers should eat more, right? It's their second year. That year 1 to year 2 jump is real. I do think that with this schedule, I know they're playing the AFC West, Stephen A. But they're also opening up the season Bears, Falcons, Raiders at home, Lions at home. Not Raiders, Falcons, excuse me. So I think that the possibility, if Jordan Love is good, if he has Mac Jones' rookie year, this team's going to win over 7.5 games. 22 touchdowns, 3,800 yards, 68% completion percentage against 13 interceptions. That's enough to win 9 games. It's enough to win 8 games. You're asking him to go 8-9 again. The question is he going to be good? And I think that is going to have effect over a couple of games because we know it, right? So many games in the NFL come down to one score. They come down to one drive. They come down to the end of the game. I think Anders Carlson is probably your best point because I do think he can cost them a couple of games if he is inconsistent and, quite frankly, is atrocious as he's shown throughout this training camp.
Have we seen Jordan Love in 2-minute situations yet? No. Yeah, maybe in joint practice, but that's not anything in comparison to real game experience. There's going to be a lot of moments where he's going to learn, and they may win 1 or 2 of them, but they also may lose 2 or 3 of them because he's learning how to win in those situations. Then you add on the Anders Carlson effect, and you add on the fact that this defense is still Joe Barry's defense. And until Joe Barry is gone, I have no confidence. Now, that could change, obviously. They'd have to do something that they haven't been able to do since Mike Pettin in 2019, where the defense, I would say, carried them in Matt LaFleur's first year. Aaron Rodgers was still figuring out his way. But after that, since 2020, the defense hasn't been anything you can be like, all right, they're going to win us games. And if they're not going to win you games and special teams isn't going to win you games because your kicker's such a liability, that's a lot to put on Jordan Love that even if he is good, I don't think that's enough for them to win over 7.5 games. And I might be jaded. I'll put my hand up. I've bet the under 7.5 games. And I think Ben Brust's thesis statement is moving forward. I think you made it for me, Greg. I'm not a fan of any team. I'm only a fan of the team that I bet.
Go ahead, Josh. No one can see you shaking your head.
I just didn't know why that was relevant.
Because I bet under 7.5, so all my opinions are going to be based on
I had two thoughts running through my head. If he mentions that he bet under 7.5, I'm going to choke him out because I hear it once a day. And the other portion is if the Packers...
Wait, was that one of your two thoughts?
Yes. Yeah, I want to choke you out because of how often you are saying, I bet the under 7.5. And then the other part is the fact that I forgot because Craig walked in and he distracted me.
Gosh.
He scared me.
It is a nice sport coat
Josh
that he has.
Loses his thought process.
It is a nice sport coat that he has. Yes, Craig must have gotten texted or pinged that Sunday Karma was brought up here. Sunday mornings, 10 to noon, across ESPN Wisconsin, as we welcome Craig Karmazin into the program now. It was brought up because we started talking a little bit about fantasy. We were talking about Justin Fields, and then I was thinking, are we going to do another Cover 5 challenge in Sunday Karma? And who lost last year that needs to take the ACT or the SAT? Ben immediately made it about himself and how you still owe him courtside seats for some contests before. But we found out Jen Latta lost last year. Is there a plan for her to pay that off?
So Jen Latta has lost, and there apparently Kyle ran into some issues with her actually going to a high school and like the potential disruption involved and our inability from a social media standpoint to appropriately cover it.
That makes sense.
So now what he's working on is her being able to do it proctored here at the Gruber Lofts. There's one call that's all studios.
Who's the proctor?
Like an official.
Like an official. Okay.
Like a real.
Because I was going to say, like, I could see that, you know.
What, just because Jen's like originally from Illinois, you think she's going to cheat on the ACTs?
I'm not saying she's going to cheat on the ACTs, but she does have a lot of connections with college coaches. And college coaches are the best in terms of being able to get their players to cheat.
Speak from
Ben went from a 13 ACT all the way up to a 19 ACT. You know,
I got into the 20s. I got into Stanford. Don't be jealous because you got denied from Stanford.
You did get into Stanford, and I didn't.
You didn't take your tests, did you?
I took my ACTs, but in college I took my tests. But I may have had means to do well on the tests, not from my brain.
Yep. Okay.
All right, so there's a plan for her to take it.
Yeah, it's still on.
Okay. It will be executed before week 1?
That is not happening. Not happening before week 1. But with Jen's college game day schedule and everything, it has not been her fault. This is all on the Sunday Karma crew that is the reason she hasn't done it.
Pat on the back to Craig, Josh. You give him a round of
really?
applause.
I mean, that's Kyle, right? I mean, that's the producer's role to be the one to organize that. It sounds like Kyle started to do some work on it. I am bummed that, like, to me, the best part is the vision of just an adult going in. It would have been better if it was like Chewy being like massive 6'4".
No, I think Jen just with a baseball cap, like the person, like literally like her 1 week off from college game day. Like normally she's on college campus, but today she's like, just like at my at Greendale High School, like taking the ACTs. I mean, that would have been amazing.
Would have been so good.
Is there a challenge this year of some sort?
I'm up for it. I mean,
I've won the last 2.
Yeah, I don't think Ben's won anything.
I don't think so either.
I won Cover 5 last year, but I won the year before to give Greg tickets to go with my dad.
But do you see what you just did to your integrity by telling us that you've cheated on tests throughout? Like, now how can we trust that your wins
I didn't cheat
are
on every
authentic?
test I took in college, guys. I mean, that wasn't possible.
Okay. If it was,
I would have done it.
Right. Yeah. See, this is why there's a question about what results we're getting here.
I have evidence, screenshots, emails.
Were you told what classes to take?
No, I chose them.
Were there,
with
so there
recommendations.
weren't like friendly teachers that were known as like, hey.
I took 25 of my 120 credits with one teacher.
That's a lot.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah, I bet he was. I'm sure he was.
He was the man. Now,
as someone who's listened to Are You Like Smarter Than Ben Brust, I don't know if I'd say he's awesome.
No, he was awesome. It's not his fault that I do bad
What
on
subject
5th grade
was it?
questions. It was like
he was like my math, science, history.
I took a social
and-
media class, a radio class, believe it or not, in that major. I did well in that major, but I will say, Yeah, I probably don't want to out myself too much here.
Yeah.
Ben is 8-26 on the year against adults for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? 9-27 if you include children.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, what was that teacher's name?
Don Stanley, great guy.
Yeah. Great guy.
I'm sure he's thrilled to be called out as that guy. Yes.
I don't want. I mean, can they take my diploma away?
No. At this point, I don't think they
But
can.
they could take like a Big Ten, like a Final Four away.
Mic off.
All right. Well, there we go. We get it done. We'll have a new challenge this year on Sunday Karma. Look forward to that. And
So I saw someone the other day who did a challenge where the person had to fly back and forth from coast to coast of the country like 4 times within 3
they ended
days.
up taking, I think, 8 flights and went to all these different cities. Yeah, that's miserable.
Yeah.
I think that person ended up changing it for this year's rule where it's just like you have to like fly just for 24 hours because it gets insanely expensive. I like those, though. I like the experience ones.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do something good. I mean, we got to do something
Now,
good.
John in the 414 is calling Ben out because he says, speaking of paying off bets, did Ben perform at the comedy club yet?
It's
you
scheduled.
still owe us. Is it?
It is scheduled.
For what day?
September 14th.
Okay.
Wait,
Josh,
that's
do you
soon.
know about this?
You're doing an open mic?
I'm doing an open mic.
This is, by the way, the 7th date we've gotten for Ben Brust doing an open
Hey,
mic.
you gave me a pass after I did the blow-up doll punishment.
Wait, and how many minutes do you have to do?
4 or 5 minutes.
I literally said 3, but we'll do 4 or 5.
3 minutes
Yes.
set, Craig.
3 minute
Yeah.
set is going to feel like an eternity up there.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm funny?
No.
Okay. All right.
I mean, but
don't. No.
Yeah, I don't think Ben. It matters.
Shut up, Josh.
Whether he's funny or not, right? To
It will
him?
be more funny if he bombs.
I don't know. Like the whole like Matt LaFleur like thing. Like, was that funny or what was that?
Oh my gosh. Are you one of them? Are you a no fun league guy?
No. I'm
Did
just
I
saying,
offend you?
No, I'm just saying I don't totally get it.
I went into Matt LaFleur to get an autograph. Like, I was telling my mom I was going to have a sleepover, and if she said no 15 times, I was eventually going to get her to say yes.
Right.
I broke Matt LaFleur down the same way that he broke down when it was 4th and goal.
Okay. And so, but I'm saying I don't get it. So
What don't you get?
What was the good part about that?
The good part about it was I had a lot of fun making Matt uncomfortable.
Because he's like a bad person?
I think I just thought it'd be
because he's like better looking than you. Like, is there some like anger you have toward him?
No,
like,
that's an interesting angle I hadn't thought of.
The interesting thing is, I don't think for him not to want to sign Aaron Rodgers' jersey is a bad thing by him because without Aaron Rodgers, he's not 13-3 for his first 3 seasons in the NFL.
Okay.
Wait, is it bad that he signed it, or is it bad that he didn't want to sign it?
Both.
You're saying
I put him in a lose-lose. I put him in a lose-lose, and I had fun doing it.
And so, why would you want to do? Again, is it because you're jealous that he's better looking than you? I mean, because I
care
can't
about
think
his
of
looks.
So then, why do you want to inflict like pain on a guy who's got a
Pain?
yeah,
pain. I inflicted
why do you
pain
want to
on him.
Okay, why do you want to make someone uncomfortable or put someone in a tough, bad spot? Like,
Because I watch too much Impractical Jokers. I think it's fun to be in awkward situations.
okay, all right, if that's what it is,
I got in character and I had fun, and people did not have fun.
No, and if that's what your character is, that's great. So your character's your Impractical Joker, you're a practical joke guy.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I sat for an hour and 15 minutes with a blow-up doll making people uncomfortable at dinner. Like, tell me what you want me to do.
You
I'll
lost
do
a
it.
bet, but that was a lost bet.
Yes, but he enjoyed it, Craig. Like
Yeah.
anyone else would have gone in, ordered the food and drinks right away, gotten out in 35, 40 minutes. Ben sat there,
We had a
ordered
good
more
time.
food, ordered another drink. I actually think if not for that date, he would not have performed the way that he performed up there at Packers training camp. I think that I probably gassed him up so much about his ability to
do
turn
anything.
his shame off in that
Yeah.
moment that he wanted to do it again. And that was his way of doing it.
Okay, now I just get that you're that guy. I just didn't know what the angle was. Now I get it.
I'm that guy.
Yeah, I get
You
it.
knew this.
No, I really didn't. I was watching it. I was like, I'm not totally getting it. I knew you like attention, but I didn't know exactly what the thing was that we were going for there.
I don't like attention. I love attention.
I need attention. I crave it. Yes.
Like, it is my oxygen.
Thank you, Craig. Sunday Karma, Sunday mornings, 10 to noon across ESPN.
Except this
Wisconsin.
week when we are preempted for Greg Scalzo, who's on instead of us this week from 9 to noon with Myron Metcalf across all of these stations. 9 to noon, Scalzo and Myron Metcalf in for Sunday Karma.
That is true.
Nice.
Sunday morning, yes.
Big time.
Yes, we need caller number 8, caller 10 for over-under here on Scalzo and Brust. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Caller 8, caller 10. Josh DiMaggio is a category. We don't know what it is. He's applied an over-under line. We don't know what that is either. Caller number 8, I'll tell you both. You say over or under, whether or not you believe in us. Caller number 10, you're stuck on the other side. Winner wins a $50 gift card. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Caller 8, caller 10. Over under coming up next on Scalzo and Brust, presented by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
When would I have learned that? I didn't take anatomy.
I mean, you probably would have learned it just in basic biology.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Biology I wasn't good at.
General curiosity.
Why would I have general curiosity?
Didn't you have a knee injury in high school?
No, I broke my ankle, tibia.
Why would I have general curiosity?
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
We've got some backups around the area for sure. An accident on northbound 41 at Watertown Plank Road off on the left shoulder. But we've got some big delays out of the Zoo interchange on westbound 94, stretching all the way out to about Moreland Road. Southbound 43 lots, a company from Hampton Avenue all the way down through the Marquette onto 4394. And then on the bypass heading southbound, we got some backups through the Zoo interchange down past Lincoln, and then back on the brakes from Oklahoma all the way down and around the Hale. Traffic is brought to you by Great Lakes Dragaway, a quarter-mile-long drag strip plus a drift pad. Even drive your own car on track. Find full event schedules and ticket information at GreatLakesDragaway.com. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Isolated storms early, fog possible. Still quite humid, a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, cooler, but still a little bit humid with a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
Does that knee pain keep getting worse? How about that pain in your shoulder or your hip or your back? Don't let them tell you steroids and surgery are your only option. Take my advice now and call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Tony Smith. QC Kinetics can make that pain go away with all natural advanced regenerative medicine. They're helping people here in Milwaukee every day with these amazing natural treatments that restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Regenerative medicine uses concentrated healing agents from your own body to stimulate that damaged tissue in your joints so they can work like they're supposed to. And there's zero downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting medical breakthrough. Patients here are getting real, lasting relief, and they're saying no to surgery and drugs. If you have pain due to an injury or arthritis, this is a remarkable option that you need to check out. And the consultation is free. Call QC Kinetics now, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Coffee drinkers and Jen, Game, and Chewy fans, unite! Join JGC and 1848 Coffee in New Berlin for Customer Appreciation Day this Friday. Stop by for free drip coffee and cold brew from 7 a.m. until noon. Plus, check out Jen, Gabe, and Chewy broadcasting live from 7 to 9. NASCAR drivers Ty Majeski and Ben Rhodes will be along for the ride all morning long as well, signing autographs and taking photos. Make sure you get in early. The first 50 people receive a free race shirt. Plus, you can enter to win free coffee for a year. Stop by 1848 Coffee in New Berlin on Friday for Customer Appreciation Day.
Sunday Night Baseball is in the Bay this weekend for a battle of playoff teams.
He swings and he hits a high drive deep down the left field line. Headed for Berkeley.
The division-leading Braves visit the Giants.
Ronald Acuna, drive on the first pitch that he sees. Back to the wall. Look at here. A home run and a tie ball game.
Our coverage starts Sunday evening at 5 right here on Milwaukee's home for Major League Baseball on ESPN Radio, 94.5 ESPN.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Labor Day sale is going on now, featuring unbeatable deals on fall essentials for your home, work, and vehicles. Like 20% off Carhartt denim pants for the family, assorted KT designer welding helmets, $69.99. All Fram oil filters start at $5.49. $2 off Robic septic tank treatment. Plus, when your car's in the shop, get 10% off in-store purchases with $100 spent on tire and auto service. See store for details. Tires and batteries, trust and care. A Blaine's Farm and Fleet promise since 1955.
Heading up north this summer for some golf? Be sure to book a tee time at the Ball Golf Course, an Arnold Palmer masterpiece just north of Milwaukee on the way to Kohler. It's the best destination for your next Wisconsin round of golf. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL.
Thursday here on Scalzo and Brust across ESPN Wisconsin. We're presented by the official beer of the NFL, Bud Light. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, Young Riley, Yauk, you the Scalzo and Brust family. Joshy, it's Thursday. It's just past 5:15. It's time to play Over Under on Scalzo and Brust.
Will the guys hit the over, or will they disappoint like they usually do? It's time for Over Under on Scalzo and Brust.
Here's how the game is played. Josh DiMaggio picks a category. You don't know what it is. He applies an over-under line for the amount of correct answers that Ben and I will get out of 10 guesses. We don't know what that is either. Caller number 8, Chad in Grafton, was told both. He doesn't believe in us. He chose the under. Josh and Racine stuck on the other side. Josh got the over. Josh DiMaggio, what do we have this week?
This one doesn't have a theme other than it popped into my head. The top 10 most popular MLB jersey sales at the All-Star break. The over-under is 6.5.
Top 10 jersey sales of this year?
Yes, the most popular players this season.
By the All-Star break?
Yes. I'm going to start the clock in 3, 2, 1.
Shohei final.
Hold on, I gotta find my button. Shohei is second.
Aaron Judge?
Good
Yankees. Aaron Judge, final answer.
Aaron Judge is fourth.
Harper?
No. You got to think younger.
Kershaw,
Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Tatis final?
Tatis is third.
J-Rod?
Julio?
J-Rod.
Julio Rodriguez is seventh.
Who the heck is first? Who are we missing?
Gunner? Braves. Acuna. Final answer.
Ronald Acuna is first.
Yeah.
Any other Braves? They're hitting bombs everywhere.
I feel like you're not going to have two of the same team on here, though.
Probably not.
Gunner, Texas.
Is stud right now?
2 minutes.
Texas is having a good run.
Loaded, like Garcia is the RBI leader there, but I don't think he's popular. No one else.
Cubbies,
Central, Cardinals,
Red Sox.
Goldschmidt, or Arenado.
No, Bellinger.
No, he's not on the Cubs. He's had a resurgence here, but no. No Twins. No Guardians.
Red Sox.
No one really comes to
mind. What about Gunner for Baltimore? I mean, they're hot.
I know.
Hottest young team in baseball.
You can.
Gunner, final answer.
I
didn't think so either. Nobody on the Rays, I feel like, is going to get up there.
Ellie De La Cruz, maybe?
Oh, De La Cruz. Good call. Final answer. Whoa! Whoa!
We got 5 of 7, Josh?
Correct.
Diamondbacks? Anything there? What's his name? Corbin.
1 minute.
Altuve.
All right. Altuve, final answer.
He's fifth.
Just need one more.
Yeah. 2 guesses. Start spread. What about a Dodger? Kershaw still?
I think Kershaw still. Mookie?
Maybe Mookie. Oh, Freddie Freeman, maybe?
Kind of boring.
Yeah, but he's...
Go for it. Whatever you want.
30 seconds.
Freddie Freeman final.
You're my baseball guy.
I mean, if it's not Freddie, I don't... Like, it's got to be a Dodger. Mookie's the next best.
Are we missing another big young star?
Soto,
Tatis,
no.
J-Rod.
Machado, no.
Yeah.
10, 9,
We got to go Mookie,
8,
right?
Mookie Betts, final
7,
answer.
6, 5.
Mookie Betts is 6th. on
Good
the
line,
list.
Joshy.
There is another Brave on the list.
Ozuna?
Nope.
Is it a pitcher?
Nope.
Is it Matt Olson?
Yes. There's another.
What a world that I know who Matt Olson even is.
There's another Astro on the list.
It's not Bregman.
It is Bregman.
Okay.
And then there's another Angel, which is not a guess.
Trout.
Yeah, Mike Trout.
That was
Austin
dumb.
Riley, Ozzie Albies, Joey Votto was 13th. Francisco Lindor, Corey Seager, Freddie Freeman, Yordan Alvarez, Adley Rutschman.
You're right. Freddie is boring.
So there is a Baltimore.
He's a
on there.
machine, though.
And then Clayton Kershaw's 20th, Manny Machado 19th.
Congratulations,
Josh and Racine.
Congratulations, Josh and Racine, and hey, Chad and Grafton.
Suck it.
800-990-ESPN. 800-990-3776.
Want to give a shout out here to Water Joe. Water with a work ethic. Clean, healthy energy. You can get that at your local grocer like Quick Trip, Meijer, Festival, Woodman's. 85 milligrams of caffeine, similar to a 20-ounce soda. You don't need that crap in soda or energy drinks. No off taste. Tastes just like water. That's why I love Water freaking Joe. Josh DiMaggio and I, we're going to go through the world of long shot bets for the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love for MVP. Maybe a little depot action. Maybe a little Super Bowl flyer.
What action?
Depot.
Depoy.
That's next on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and
I
Brust.
bet he was a hairy middle schooler. I bet he was a really hairy middle schooler.
You nailed it. I still don't have chest hair, and he had chest hair in 7th grade. Wow. Very strong, very athletic.
Soft chest hair, too. Sorry, continue.
Soft chest hair is in, like, not soft because he's soft, but soft because he's very beautiful.
Kind you want to run your hands through.
I would. Sorry, you were saying.
I don't remember anymore because now I'm thinking about rubbing my hand through Jimmy Garoppolo's chest hair in 7th grade.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Well, we got some weather coming through the area. I'm getting word that folks are coming to a standstill with hail coming down on 94, crossing the county line between Milwaukee and Racine County near Oak Creek. So just be extra careful. It's going to be slow north and southbound through that area. We've also got backups along east and westbound 94. The westbound side slowing down from 27th Street out to Mitchell Boulevard, then back on the brakes from the zoo all the way to Moreland Road. The eastbound side's going to be heavy, basically from 84th Street all the way to 27th. Slow speeds on 43 southbound coming in from Hampton Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and onto 4394. Traffic is brought to you by Mars Cheese Castle in Kenosha. Scan the QR code at the castle for a chance to win 2 tickets for the September 10th Green and Gold game. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for official contest rules. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, isolated storms early, then fog is possible and still quite humid, a low of 68. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, cooler, but still humid with a high of 77. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm coming.
Hi, Mark Tauscher. Tausch, you have mosquitoes in here.
It's like an insect zoo right now at my house. Here comes that wasp again. Incoming.
Shoo, you need Pella's 250 series of windows with exclusive hidden screens, protecting you from nature.
Yes, please. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to the rescue.
Get a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens as low as $188 per month. PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 8/31/23.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. That's right, folks. Great Lakes Dragway's 2023 race season is in full swing. Come out to see our annual events like Memorial Day Weekend, Labor Day Weekend, Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, Import Wars, Larry's Fun Fest, and Bug Fest. Looking for something new and exciting? Come see the Night of Fire Jet Show. Want the track all to yourself? Email or call about a private track rental. Go to GreatLakesDragaway.com for contact information and our full season schedule. Great Lakes Dragaway, just a burnout west of I-94 on County KR. Be there.
Kevin Moret here from Mentality Men's Health. Guys, did you know that the stored belly fat reduces your free testosterone? The more the belly grows, the harder it is to drop, mostly because of the decrease in free T. It's a vicious cycle that men are losing, and unfortunately, everyone can see it. Mentality breaks that cycle with semaglutide, an industry-changing weight loss medication that can help you lose up to 15% of your body weight while preserving your testosterone. Join our over 20,000 clients to look and feel the way you deserve. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
Grateful Dead Thursday here on Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Josh DiMaggio holding it down. Ben Brust here. 800-990-3776. A lot of things have just been popping up in Joshy's head. That's what I've been noticing. And I like that.
It's a beautiful mind.
I like that, Joshy. I came across the last thing on the show sheet today, and I was like, Joshy saved his best for last. Most likely Packers long shot. So there's a variety of prop bets out there right now for you to scour across the internet, or just go to Potawatomi Sportsbook in Milwaukee and place those in person at their kiosks. That being said, I want to hear from the Scalzo and Brust family what your favorite Packers long shot bet is. For context here, we have a little bit of Super Bowl action at plus 6,600, winning the NFC Championship at plus 2,800, Jordan Show Me the Love to win the MVP at plus 5,000. Rashawn Gary plus 4,000 for Defensive Player of the Year. Matt LaFleur Coach of the Year at plus 1,800. And I think I'm going to omit this one, Joshy, for the sake of the conversation. But could you please fill in the audience on the NFC North current odds? Because there's been some shifting. Sharp money coming in on the Packers.
Yes, we talked about it a lot, actually. The Packers were the longest favorite. They were around plus 450
450-ish.
when we started talking about this and training camp was getting going. Right now, the Packers have jumped the Chicago Bears. They are plus 330, just ahead of the Chicago Bears at plus 380. And interestingly enough, the favorite, the Detroit Lions, are plus 145. So that's not even
no value.
Yeah, not at all.
I would not touch that at all.
I think that's why the Packers have vaulted, because people figured that was the best odds.
It still is a division that is up for grabs, showing that there's no minus money there. There's no clear favorite.
Right.
They're all underdogs. Whereas I'm sure the Chiefs are a minus or the Eagles are a minus. That being said, I want to hear the long shot bets. And of everything that I've seen here, I would probably, because it's fun to root for the guy, go for Rashawn Gary to win Defensive Player of the Year. Now, I think it's a tough bet to win because he's coming off the ACL injury, but I don't think his odds will be as good next year because if he stays healthy, even if the first 4 games he's trying to find his legs underneath him because he hasn't had a full training camp of action and work, he's electric, man. I love the way he gets to the quarterback. I love the way that he disrupts. And we've all heard the statistics of how the Packers' rush defense was so good. I think they were like, I don't know, top 5 in rush percentage with Rashawn Gary. And then when he was out, they were bottom half.
I believe they're top 3 in pass rush win rate. And they dropped all the way to 29th.
That's a big drop. And,
Massive.
And like the big drop is big enough for me to tell you that is an effect that Rashawn Gary had. And again, it comes in a year where Preston Smith is an edge rusher. Lucas Van Ness, the first-round draft pick. I think you can expect a lot of what you saw from Rashawn Gary, where he was limited on snaps in his rookie year, and you hope that he grows into a bigger role over the course of his career because he was drafted on strength, speed, intangibles, and what he can maybe bring long-term. So I got Rashawn Gary for Defensive Player of the Year, and if I had to pick a second, I would do my guy, Matt LaFleur's Coach of the Year, because if the Packers somehow were to win the division, it's an easy storyline. No Aaron Rodgers, Matty LaFleur, what a job. Look what he did.
I think the safest bet here, by no question, and the odds do bear it out, Matt LaFleur to win Coach of the Year at plus 1,800. As you were stating, the fact that so many people think Matt LaFleur has rode the coattails of Aaron Rodgers, that if the Packers make the playoffs, I would say that's like a guarantee win. Like, if the Packers, they don't need to win a game. They don't need to be even that good. If he takes this team to the playoffs, I think you get there guaranteed. The pick I like, and this is a little bit, I've been talking about how I think Jordan Love's good already, how the preseason that I thought didn't matter now matters to me because I saw a couple pill slings last Saturday after I had 5 tall boy Bud Lights.
You know what's going to happen? You're going to have 5 tall boys for your birthday party this weekend, and somehow you're going to wake up with a Jordan Love MVP bet.
Correct. And it's going to be, I'm going to love it. I'm going to hang it. I'm going to carry it with me at all times.
You're going to print it out and put it above your ceiling so it's the first thing you wake up and see.
Yes. So Jordan Love plus 5,000. There's a couple things here. The odds you get on a plus 5,000 bet is just a lot.
$10 wins you 500.
Correct. So you're getting huge odds there. And we truly do not know. I think Rashawn Gary would be like the smart play if I didn't have any heart in this whatsoever. Rashawn Gary today had 3 sacks in training camp.
Let's go!
It's training camp.
I know.
And
it would be hypocritical of me to anoint Rashawn Gary back without seeing him in regular season action after an injury.
But the fact that him off of that 8, he just started doing 11 on 11, I think yesterday or the day before. So even if he's getting close to the quarterback at this point, that's a great sign to see from him. I just don't think the Packers defense is good enough to get there. And I think if Jordan Love, for whatever reason, looks absolutely stunning, this is a bet I would take here just on the off shot. I do think it's also one of those bets, too, where I think you know by like week 3. If you even have a chance.
Yeah. You might not be carrying that one with you very long.
Right. That one we put away and don't let anybody know we spent $10 and donated it to the Potawatomi.
But if it starts looking good, you start asking, hey, anybody want to maybe buy this ticket from me?
Yeah. What is that? It's like Tick Flick or something?
I don't know. There's so many. I mean, you could even just ask you can just walk around. Hey, I got a great ticket. Anyone want to buy this one from me?
Yeah. I think that's a fun bet. It's a fun one because when you make these season-long bets, and I do a few of them every year, I've realized betting the unders on a team I think is going to stink isn't that fun. But when you got a guy that you can believe in or a team you can believe in, it makes it real fun to be like, you know what, Jordan Love MVP, I have a rooting interest every time.
Now, I will say for the teams that are really bad and you bet unders, you have a better chance of watching that bet for a longer period of time. If you bet a long shot on something your heart tells you, those ones can go to shreds a lot quicker. 800-990-3776. We're talking Packer long shot bets that you like for the upcoming season. Trucker Mark chimes in. My Packers long shot bet: Green Bay Packers banning big-time Benny Brust from any Packers future practices. That's my long shot, Trucker Mark. I don't think that's as big of a long shot as you think, Trucker Mark. I might be in the minuses there. You might not be getting plus odds on that one. That's just a hunch.
Yeah, that one's more realistic. That one is minus 250.
Yeah, there's no heart in that. There's logic there.
The thing you have working in your favor is the nice people who, I don't know if they quite volunteer, but the nice older folks who's their retirement job, they're not going to be carrying around a picture of your mug on it. So unless you do something similar, I think you could sneak in.
Yeah, just maybe a disguise.
Yeah, Groucho Marx disguise?
No, full disguise, like makeup and hair and everything. Whole new person.
I mean, if that's what you want to do, if that's the next evolution of this.
Why did I tell everybody? Damn it.
They're going to be on the lookout. Look out for Ben Brust. He might be wearing a disguise.
He's going to be wearing our Aaron Rodgers number 8 jersey signed by Matt LaFleur, 1 of 1, but he's going to have a different haircut. Watch out. Josh DiMaggio's birthday. We're celebrating the big 3 what?
5.
Big 3-5 over the weekend. I may or may not be there. I will tell you why next on Scalzo and Brust, Joshy.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
My name is Ben Brust, and I am a Karen.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club of New Berlin. I did get 6 stitches in my hand, and Maddie, my personal trainer, has adjusted for my needs. It's how it is for everything. You work with the personal trainer, you work at the workout classes, whatever you need, they have. Free childcare with the membership. The pool's open until Labor Day. Get out there. It's a hot day. Get under the water. Have a drink at the bar after you get a good workout in. They're clean health clubs. They provide you everything you need, a great community, a great place for you to find your better tomorrow. I found mine. You should find yours by going to the Princeton Club.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
Boy, we hate when bad things happen to good people, especially when it comes to superstar baseball players. And that's the case with Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Angels. He tore a ligament in his right elbow, and they're going to have to shut him down from pitching and maybe even hitting. The Angels have not made that final decision yet. This goes beyond a money aspect because he's going into free agency. He's going to make his money. You don't have to worry about Shohei Ohtani having a Venmo account set up for him because he's going to be fine. But it always really, really stinks when you don't get a chance to see a guy each and every day, whether it's highlights or watching games up close and personal, because that's how great Shohei Ohtani is. Outside of the pitching aspect, because that's fantastic, but that hitting aspect and putting both of those together. I don't know if we're going to see him pitch again in Major League Baseball, and that's going to be a loss. But that doesn't mean we're going to lose out Shohei Ohtani. He is so much better than being a pitcher. We've seen him be a superstar, and that's only going to continue. In 60 seconds, the NFL trying to do right by Jonathan Taylor of the Colts.
This Labor Day at the Home Depot, we're rolling out store-wide savings, like a new lower price of $99 on the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2-tool kit, because we see long weekends as an opportunity to power up your projects. With the One Plus battery system that works on over 280 products and counting. All driving you to do more this Labor Day at the Home Depot. Get the Ryobi One Plus 18-volt 2-tool kit for a new low price of $99. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, Quiet-Tech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
So it seems that the Indianapolis Colts have some suitors when it comes to Jonathan Taylor, who they told their running back to go out and seek a trade, that 2 teams are really interested, and 6 teams called to inquire about his services and maybe a trade. I was born tonight, but I was not born last night. Only the NFL is going to try to make sure their image does not take a hit by restricting player movement. The NFL hears all, sees all, pays attention to all. You know they've heard everything that's been said on ESPN Radio or NFL Live or somewhere else about, man, how can you tell a guy to make a deal when you don't want to actually be a partner to that deal with another NFL team with the Indianapolis Colts? And Jonathan Taylor, we know he's not stupid. He knows at a certain point he may have to go back to the Indianapolis Colts because they're not going to find a willing trade partner. But the NFL knows the best partner is money, and they keep making more of it. Why? Because we fans don't want to lose our NFL, and they know that more than anybody else. With the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman.
Juniper Pools is kicking off football season in a big way this year. Purchase a spa between July 29th and August 31st, and you win when our team wins. If the green and gold win the big game, you'll receive your hot tub purchase for free. If they win the division, you get $1,000 back, and if they make the wild card playoff game, you score a $250 in-store gift card. For complete promotional terms and conditions, visit poolpeople.com. Get ready to relax and back the green and gold this season with Juniper Pools on West Wisconsin Avenue by Costco in Appleton.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Official beer of the NFL. Ben Brust, Josh DiMaggio holding it down here. Josh, you put up a poll on Twitter at Scalzo and Brust. What Packers long shot is your favorite? We'll update you at the end of the show what we got going on at the polls, but we got to go right to it. The ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. The official and official Ben Brust disappointment officer of the Scalzo and Brust family. She keeps me on my toes. She brings the heat every time. Please welcome Ellen in Janesville. Welcome.
Suffering succotash. You know, I haven't heard you guys in a while. I turn the radio on and find out that you go out on a date with a blow-up doll. Now you want to play dress-up and go to Lambeau Field, and you cheated your way through UW. You know, you just continue to disappoint. You're breaking my heart. Good gracious. Explain yourself off the air, okay?
So, hang on.
I'll hang up, you explain.
No, Ellen, let me ask you a question. Who's the fool? The fool who's fooled once or twice?
Twice.
That's you, Ellen. I mean, I keep letting you down. Stop believing in me at this point.
I don't. All I'm saying is it's mind-boggling that you are on the radio telling people this. You want to play dress up. You hang out with blow-up dolls, and you cheated your way through college. It's amazing.
Thank you, Ellen.
Thank you for the call.
She brings up a good point.
Shut up, Josh.
Most people.
All right. The blow-up doll, I lost a bet. I had to do that. Did I enjoy it a little too much? Maybe.
Yes.
That's for another conversation. Cheating my way through college is a stretch. There's some embellishment here, Josh. There is some embellishment. I did well in school. I got a 2.9 out of 4 on my GPA.
Here's the thing about the cheated the way through college.
It's like a BC. It's like average. I'm average.
I think most people listening would assume because you were an athlete that something went on as it does in most sports programs. The issue...
This is not the University of North Carolina.
The issue is the fact that you seem so willing and excited to tell us about those things.
As long as they don't take away a Final Four.
She's not disappointed in your actions. She's disappointed in your inability to keep those things to yourself.
All right. Can I disappoint you?
Yes.
Well, actually, I don't think you'll be disappointed. But I don't know. I don't know how you're going to react. So my girlfriend has some final things to move into my place. So it's like the furniture, the couches, the big stuff. So renting the truck, and I have some helpers at 9:30. Now, I have friends coming from Madison. Can I bring my own friends to something that they're not invited to?
Ooh, this is a tough one. This has been a thing that's been an issue. I shouldn't say an issue. It's been a debate in the household.
Great.
We have a very nice apartment, but it's not necessarily big. We've had some dropouts, some people who aren't going to be able to make it that we originally thought we were, but we've had some add-ons as well. How many people would be an addition to...
Me and my girlfriend?
Yes.
2.
All right.
Party of 4. Josh DiMaggio's 35th birthday bash.
I'm not upset by it, and I think it will be fine. But I do need to run it across the boss.
What if I told you we don't plan on being midnighters?
Oh, I mean, that doesn't really make a difference.
The stop and goers,
the
dine and dashers.
The issue is probably going to be everybody getting there around the same time. So it's not going to make a difference if you're there late or not.
You got anything set up outside? Is it not going to be nice?
We don't have really the area to do it outside. It would be awkward to be
stuffed like sardines in that place.
We are going to be stuffed like sardines in that place.
Is the AC working?
It's not going to be stuffed like sardines. The AC does work, and the temperature is drastically dropping from what it is right now. I can't make this. I don't even really know what's going on.
Can you not make this decision?
I got asked what I wanted to do for my birthday, and I said I want to have 1,000 Bud Lights with my buds. Everything that's happened since then has been out of my hands. I don't know I don't know who all is going to be there. I don't know what to expect. So I'll get back to you on that. Is that a good enough answer?
You did the Ben Brust.
Yeah.
You did wipe the hands clean and
and I also have to defer because I don't know who's all able to make it or not.
All right. Well, there is an opportunity that I'm just tired from moving furniture. Would you be upset if I didn't come?
I mean, not terribly.
Oh, you were supposed to say yes. Come on, Josh. I want to be wanted. Everyone wants to be wanted.
I would be disappointed if no one showed up, and then I'd start looking around like, wow, that's really disappointing. But I think there's going to be fair attendance, so anything after that is just a bonus to me.
You're going to be, by the time I get there, you'll be like in Joshy happy mode.
Yeah, I'll have had 7 Bud Lights by the time you get there, and I'll be having a good time.
Wisconsin Rapids and Stoughton Prep Mania in 100.5 ESPN Madison. Joe and Amber up next across the rest of ESPN Wisconsin. See you tomorrow.
Delays are still sticking around. We've got 94 southbound, kind of slowing down from about Drexel all the way down into Racine County. So give yourself a little extra time. Also, if you're heading through any of that rain or hail or